What if everything you've been told about eating after 50, from low-fat diets to skipping carbs, was actually speeding up your aging instead of slowing it down? For decades, healthy eating meant cutting calories, avoiding red meat, and surviving on salads. Yet, despite all that discipline, millions of adults still develop heart disease, diabetes, joint pain, and memory loss in their 50s and 60s. But what if the real longevity diet wasn't about restriction at all? What if it was about eating more, just the right foods, at the right times, to literally switch on your body's built-in repair systems that go dormant with age? Scientists from Harvard, the University of Rome, and the Blue Zones research team have uncovered something remarkable. People over 50 who follow a specific eating rhythm can extend their health span, not just lifespan, by as much as 15 years. And here's the kicker: it has nothing to do with kale smoothies or counting calories. By the end of this video, you'll discover the 5 hidden rules of the true longevity diet after 50, the same principles quietly followed in the world's longest-lived communities, and how just one meal timing shift can reset your metabolism, sharpen your mind, and make your body biologically younger in as little as 21 days. Before we dive in, tell us in the comments, what's the one food you can't live without, even though you suspect it might be aging you faster? We'll be replying with personalized tips for every comment. Now let's uncover what the real longevity diet after 50 actually looks like, starting with the truth no one tells you about aging metabolism. After 50, something almost invisible begins happening inside your body. Your cells stop listening to insulin, to hormones, to the very nutrients meant to keep you alive. You start feeling it in small ways first. You gain weight faster even though you're eating less. You wake up groggy even after 8 hours of sleep. Your skin looks thinner, your hair loses shine, your digestion slows down. And doctors call it normal aging. But here's the truth: it's not normal. It's nutritional miscommunication. Your cells haven't forgotten how to repair. They've simply lost the instructions. The foods and eating patterns that worked in your 20s and 30s don't communicate the same way with your metabolism after 50. See, after midlife, your body stops responding to constant feeding. Breakfast at 7, snacks at 10, lunch at noon, dinner at 7. That non-stop intake keeps your repair systems permanently switched off. The enzymes that clean up damaged cells? Disabled. The mitochondria that power your brain? Sluggish. Your immune system? Inflamed, confused, and overworked. Meanwhile, entire industries profit from this confusion. They sell anti-aging supplements, fat-burning shakes, and heart-healthy cereals that do the exact opposite. They keep you dependent. But here's what scientists studying the longest-lived people on Earth in Okinawa, Sardinia, and the Nicoya Peninsula have discovered. These people don't count calories. They don't fear carbs or fat. They eat in a rhythm that mimics the way human metabolism evolved, with short daily fasts, high nutrient density, and natural protein cycling. That rhythm turns on what researchers call autophagy, your body's built-in cleanup program that removes old damaged cells and replaces them with new, healthy ones. It's like upgrading your body's operating system while you sleep. So if you've been trying to eat healthy but still feel older than you should, it's not your fault. You've been following the wrong rules. The real longevity diet after 50 doesn't just feed your body, it teaches your cells how to rejuvenate themselves. And in the next few minutes, you'll learn the 5 simple food and timing shifts that scientists say can make a 60-year-old body function like it's 40 again. Let's start with the first one, and it begins not with what you eat, but when you eat. Every culture that produces long-lived people shares one quiet secret: they don't graze all day. In Okinawa, elders finish their final meal before sunset. In Sardinia, shepherds eat twice a day, not 6 times. In Icaria, Greece, known as the island where people forget to die, dinner happens early, and nothing passes their lips until the next morning sunlight. This isn't a trend, it's evolution. Modern science now knows why this works so powerfully. When you stop eating for 12 to 16 hours, your cells switch from growth mode to repair mode. This window of calm triggers autophagy, your cellular recycling process that clears out old damaged mitochondria, misfolded proteins, and oxidative waste, the very things that cause fatigue, wrinkles, and slow metabolism. Dr. Valter Longo from the University of Southern California, one of the leading researchers on longevity, calls this the metabolic reset. His studies show that adults over 50 who practiced time-restricted eating, consuming all their meals within an 8 to 10-hour window, saw a 25% improvement in insulin sensitivity, reduced inflammation markers, and measurable drops in biological age within just 3 months. The key is rhythm, not restriction. You don't need to starve, you just need to pause. Imagine your body as a kitchen. If you keep cooking all day, the dishes pile up, the counters get dirty, and the system clogs. But when you give it time to rest, clean, and reorganize, it becomes efficient again. So, the first rule of the real longevity diet after 50 is simple. Eat your meals within daylight hours and allow your body at least 12 hours of quiet overnight. That one change alone can flip your metabolism switch from store and survive to clean and thrive. And here's the kicker. When you break that overnight fast, what you eat first can determine how much energy or inflammation you create for the rest of the day. So let's move to the second rule, a breakfast trick used by centenarians that keeps their energy steady and their minds sharp well into their 90s.
When you finally break your overnight fast, you're not just feeding your stomach, you're sending your first signal of the day to every cell in your body. And that signal can either say stay young and burn clean, or store fat and age faster. Here's the secret most people over 50 never hear. Your first meal determines your hormonal rhythm for the next 24 hours. If you start with sugar, bread, or cereal, your insulin spikes, your energy crashes, and your body stays in fat storage mode all day. But when you start with clean proteins and healthy fats, your brain releases acetylcholine and dopamine, neurotransmitters that enhance focus, memory, and motivation, while your metabolism shifts into fat burning and cell repair mode. That's why in Okinawa, Japan, elders traditionally break their fast with warm miso soup, tofu, or fish. In Nicoya, Costa Rica, it's beans and eggs cooked in coconut oil. In Sardinia, it's goat yogurt and nuts with olive oil, not croissants or orange juice. Researchers from the University of Sydney found that older adults who ate a high-protein, moderate-fat breakfast maintained muscle strength, better blood sugar, and had a 60% lower risk of metabolic decline over 5 years. So what does that look like for you? It can be as simple as 2 eggs cooked in olive oil, half an avocado, a handful of berries, or a scoop of Greek yogurt topped with chia seeds and walnuts. This combination keeps blood sugar stable, feeds your mitochondria, and switches on a process called mTOR regulation, the balance between cell growth and repair. That's the same pathway longevity researchers manipulate in anti-aging drug trials. But here's where it gets fascinating. If you eat too much protein too often, your body stays in growth mode and never enters deep repair. That's why long-lived populations naturally cycle protein intake. Heavier one day, lighter the next, allowing their cells to alternate between building and cleaning. So the second rule of the real longevity diet after 50 is this: break your fast with protein and healthy fat, not sugar, and cycle your protein days to keep your body flexible and young. This rhythm keeps your energy high, your hunger low, and your muscles strong, without calorie counting or extreme dieting. Now that your mornings are reset, what you do in the middle of the day determines how much inflammation your body will carry into the night. And that brings us to rule number 3, the hidden secret behind the Mediterranean paradox that protects your heart, joints, and brain even when you eat more fat. For years, we've been told that fat and carbs are the villains of aging. But in the world's longest-lived communities, people eat both and thrive. In Sardinia, lunch often includes pasta tossed with olive oil, beans, and vegetables. In Icaria, they drizzle olive oil over bread, lentils, and even potatoes. And yet, their rates of heart disease are some of the lowest on Earth. So what's their secret? It's not about cutting out foods, it's about balancing the inflammatory load of each meal. See, when we eat refined carbs, white bread, pasta, sugar, they flood the bloodstream with glucose. That glucose attaches to proteins, forming sticky compounds called AGEs, or advanced glycation end products. Think of them as molecular rust that stiffens arteries, damages collagen, and accelerates wrinkles and joint pain. But when you pair those carbs with healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, or nuts, and add fiber and phytonutrients from vegetables or beans, that damage almost disappears. The fat slows digestion, the fiber lowers the glucose spike, and antioxidants neutralize the free radicals that cause inflammation. It's not a low-fat diet, it's a smart-fat diet. Dr. Luigi Fontana, one of the leading scientists on Mediterranean longevity, says, "It's not about removing entire food groups, it's about restoring the balance that industrialized diets destroyed." In practical terms, this means pairing whole grains with olive oil and vegetables, adding beans or lentils to lunch at least 4 times a week, using herbs like turmeric, rosemary, and oregano, natural anti-inflammatories found in nearly every Blue Zone kitchen. These small combinations reduce the cellular inflammation that drives nearly every age-related disease, from heart problems to memory decline. So the third rule of the real longevity diet after 50 is this: eat for balance, not restriction. Combine clean fats, slow carbs, and plant proteins in your main meal to calm inflammation and feed longevity. And here's the beauty of it. This isn't just about living longer. When inflammation goes down, your mood lifts, your joints move easier, and your body starts feeling light again, the way it did years ago. But there's one more hidden factor that even the healthiest diets can miss. And it's not about food at all. It's about how often you let your body rest from digestion entirely. Because even with the best foods, constant eating blocks your repair genes from activating. And that's where the fourth longevity rule comes in, the secret used by Japanese centenarians to extend their life without counting calories or skipping meals. In Okinawa, Japan, home to one of the world's highest concentrations of people over 100, there's a phrase that guides almost every meal: hara hachibu. It means eat until you're 80% full. This simple practice has been passed down for centuries, and modern science now understands why it works so powerfully. When you stop eating before you're completely full, you don't just save calories, you trigger a survival switch deep in your cells. That switch activates AMPK, an enzyme that senses energy stress and signals your body to start cleaning up damaged cells and burning stored fat. In other words, mild hunger isn't a problem, it's a rejuvenation signal. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic found that light, regular fasting, even skipping one meal a day or reducing portion size by 20%, increases stem cell activity, enhances DNA repair, and lowers inflammation throughout the body.
It's the opposite of what we've been taught. We've been told that eating small meals constantly keeps metabolism active. But in reality, constant feeding keeps your body in storage mode and blocks your natural renewal systems. That's why people in long-lived regions naturally stay lean, energetic, and mentally sharp. Their bodies are constantly cleaning house. Dr. Yoshinori Osumi, the Nobel Prize-winning scientist who discovered the process of autophagy, proved that even short fasts trigger cellular self-cleaning. He described it as our body's built-in detox system, one that slows down dramatically when we overeat. The beauty of the 80% rule is that it's not about deprivation, it's about mindfulness. It teaches your body to listen again. Here's a simple way to apply it. Eat slowly. Pause halfway through your meal and check if you're still truly hungry. Stop when you feel comfortable. not stuffed. Your digestion improves, your energy stabilizes, and your longevity genes, the same ones that keep Okinawan elders youthful at 90, stay switched on. So the fourth rule of the longevity diet after 50 is this: eat until you're satisfied, not full. Give your body short, regular breaks from digestion to allow deep repair. But there's one more rule, one that might surprise you most of all. Because even if you eat perfectly, clean foods, balanced meals, mindful fasting, you can still age faster if you miss this one last piece of the longevity puzzle. It has nothing to do with calories or nutrients, and everything to do with connection. Imagine you eat perfectly, clean foods, balanced meals, mindful fasting, yet you still feel tired, unmotivated, or lonely. That's not a lack of discipline, that's a missing nutrient. One that no supplement or superfood can replace. It's connection. When scientists from the Blue Zones Project studied the world's longest-lived people, from Okinawa to Sardinia, they expected to find exotic foods or magical genetics. But what they found instead was something deeper. People who lived past 90 and 100 shared not just good diets, but strong bonds, daily purpose, and laughter. In Okinawa, they call it ikigai, your reason for waking up in the morning. It could be tending a garden, cooking for grandchildren, or helping a neighbor. That simple sense of purpose literally changes your body's chemistry. Studies from Harvard's 80-year-long adult development project show that people with close relationships and daily meaning have lower cortisol levels, stronger immune systems, and slower brain aging. When you connect deeply with others, share a meal, laugh, or simply belong, your body releases oxytocin and serotonin. These are not just feel-good chemicals, they are repair hormones. They lower inflammation, regulate digestion, and even improve how your cells respond to insulin. That's why in every longevity hotspot, meals are not eaten alone. Food isn't just fuel, it's a ritual of togetherness. Families eat at the same table. Neighbors share wine and conversation. And somehow, those meals nourish both body and soul. Here's what modern science now confirms. You could follow every rule of nutrition, but if you eat in isolation, under stress, or without joy, your body still produces the same inflammatory stress hormones that accelerate aging. So the fifth rule of the longevity diet after 50 is this: eat your soul as much as your body. Eat with people, find purpose, and let your nervous system know you are safe and connected. Because the chemistry of youth isn't just made in the kitchen, it's made in community. And when connection becomes part of your nutrition, everything else you do, fasting, clean eating, sleep, and movement, begins to work 10 times better. So here's the truth. Longevity isn't found in a pill or a perfect diet. It's built one mindful bite, one deep breath, one shared meal at a time. Eat with rhythm, rest your cells, nourish with balance, and stay connected. Your body already knows how to heal. It's just waiting for you to give it the chance. If this inspired you, share it with someone you want to grow young with. And remember, aging is inevitable, but decay is optional.